Hello everyone. Today I'm going to build a Dapp frontend with wagmi. Here's what we are going to build. First, we'll connect our wallet. And next, we can switch between networks. And then we'll send a message like hello. We'll verify the message and return the corresponding signature and the recovery address. That seems easy and fundamental, huh? Almost every app needs these functions. Before coding, let's know something about wagmi. wagmi is a library providing React hooks for Ethereum. It provides 20 plus hooks for working with wallets and as contracts, transactions, signings. And it also has built-in wallet connectors. And it can auto-refresh data on wallet block and network changes. And it is TypeScript already. wagmi also provides a great documentation. We can know about all the details on the hooks we are going to use. On today's video, we will only cover the use account, use connect, use disconnect, use network, and use SignMessage. I will use Sandbox as my editor, and I have provided the link in the description below. You can play with it if you like. Okay, let's begin. First, we are going to create a code sandbox with React TypeScript. And then we are going to clear the codes we don't need. And delete this file. We are going to refer to the documentation to know about how to use the user account hook. Here is an example usage. We can copy this code and you find that there is an error, which means that we didn't add this dependency. So we add the wagmi. Well done. And then we'll make our codes more clear and delete this information we didn't need. And we'll also export this component for the outer app to use. Let's talk about the logic of our account component. First, we fetch the data from the user account hook, and then we display the address from the data. Quite easy, we just used 2 lines of code. That's because we have wagmi in the backend to help us deal with all the details about the account. Next, we are going to create the connect component. It's more complex. Like before, we just referred to the documentation. In our code, we'll implement the use connect and use disconnect hooks in our connect component. First, let's take a closer look at the logic of the use connect usage. First, it fetches the values from the use connect hook. The first return is the active connectors. And then you loop over all the connectors. Give each connector a button. When you click on this button, this event listener will trigger the event handler connect. At last, will display the error message. When it comes to the use disconnect, it's easier. We fetch disconnect from this hook. This button will trigger the event disconnect. Finally, let's write our own code. We will make some changes to the use connect usage. Just add the disconnect component and place the disconnect button here. Well done, we have finished the connect component. Next, we create the NetworkSwitcher component. We can find that the use network hook almost shows the same logic with the use connect hook. That is, you first show the active chain, and then you loop over the chains, give every chain the button. The on-click will trigger the switch network handler, and it will display the error message. I will do some modifications to the example code. That is, if the chain hasn't been activated, it will return now. And if we detect that the active chain is the unsupported chain, we will display the unsupported message. Finally, we are going to create the SignMessage component. We can see the use SignMessage hook. Instead of sign a fixed message, we are going to sign a reactive state variable. And we are going to check whether the SignMessage has succeeded. First, we are going to add the state hook for the message. And then we are going to introduce a method from the insert library, that is verify message. Given the signed message and the data, the verified message will return the address. And then we are going to use the React useRef hook. The useRef returns a mutable ref object whose current property is initialized to the pass argument. The returned object will persist for the full lifetime of the component. And we love to set the recover address current as the address. As we decide to let the users input the message they want to sign, so we'd love to return a form. The onsubmit event listener will trigger the sign message event handler. We will add a test area. When our text area has changed, it will set the message. Just add the sign message button. And we also love to show the recover address and the signature. That's it. We find that there is an error. We have to add the ethers dependency. That's it. Our sign message has finished. And then we need to create an index file to export all of our components. Finally, we'll combine all of our components into the app component. Fetch the data from the user account hook. Show the connect component first. If the address has been connected, we will show the account, NetworkSwitcher, and the sign message. If not, we won't show anything. Here we are going to write the code for the index. First, we need to import all the files and methods we need. Second, we are going to configure the chains. And then we are going to set up the client. You can find all the details about the configure chains and setup client in the documentations. Just create the route and render the app. Here we are. Our app has finished. Congratulations! Let's test our app. First, we need to connect our wallet. And then let's just try to switch the network. Okay, it works. Let's try to send a message. We can see that it showed the recovery address that's correct and our signature. Okay, well done. That's all for today.